Alright, so I have a somewhat special video for today because, guys, we have the Supercell CEO, the face, essentially, of Clash Royale and the company's decisions. He made an annual blog post talking about the state of Clash Royale, basically reflecting on the year, how the year, well, as we know in 2025, was pretty much the best year we've seen for the game in almost a decade, and then we saw the downfall of the game. So is he going to reflect on it, basically talk about what was good, what was bad? And there's some quote retweets I want to show you guys as well, basically talking about, his opinion or kind of how knowledgeable he is of what happened in the game. Clash Royale, a historic year. Last year, I called Brawl Stars' growth historic. Now I'm about to use that word again for Clash Royale. Royale's re-engaged players doubled. New players grew almost 500%. Every major measure of playtime and engagement grew significantly, and maybe most importantly, Clash Royale once again became the game to play with friends around the world. It felt like 2016 again. Has it really been almost 10 years? I want to take a moment to celebrate this because what happened deserves celebrating. A game approaching its 10th year didn't just hold on, it exploded. That's extraordinarily rare in our industry. It's proof of what's possible when a talented team relentlessly focuses on making things better for players. The obvious question, what did the team do? So I went to Sasha, the general manager of Clash Royale, and came away energized by what he shared. First, Sasha and the team are remarkably grounded given what they achieved. Clash Royale is currently declining from its recent peak, so anything they've learned comes with the awareness that challenges remain. As Sasha put it, while this rare explosive growth doesn't happen for most games, has happened twice for us in the past 2 years, there are no certainties here. And while we may have learned a bit about this kind of growth, we haven't yet learned how to sustain it. Well, that's been, I guess, pretty obvious and why there was the downfall as quick as there was. One precondition for Royale's recent growth in Brawl Stars before it in 2024 is the players themselves. For massive rapid growth to happen, word of mouth discovery has to happen. You and your friends have to talk about the games you're playing. Not true of every audience or demographic. This may explain why Clash of Clans, Heyday, and Boom Beach have seen more gradual growth and declines, while Brawls and Royales up and downs are more dizzying. Well, that I would have to agree with that because the other games like Clash of Clans and Heyday, their popularity seems to stay somewhat consistent over the years. So what drove Royale's explosion in 2025? It actually started before last year. The team made changes to progression, simplified the game by removing extraneous systems and adding desirable new content both in-game and out of game. All this makes the game more approachable and makes progression more possible for players itself. This doesn't create anything immediate, but it creates the ability for returning players to have a much better time if they return, Sasha told me. I wonder if they're at all going to mention the impact of content creation and Jinxie especially. I wonder if they're at all going to mention it in the article. Whether players actually return involves a bit of pyrotechnics. I don't know what that word means in all honesty. Apparently, Sasha started talking about the unpredictability of sparks catching fire. In these forever games, there are many sparks in the form of new content and features. If community sentiment is generally positive, any of these sparks can catch fire. If sentiment is negative, they almost certainly cannot. In 2024, we started giving away Evos and had the first signs of sparks. Okay, Evos I could get behind. I think long-term they were a good addition to the game. So I would say that did probably contribute to the game making a comeback because new players come into the game, probably were excited about Evos and their deck actually having an Evo. So I think this was a valid point. But also at the same time as the Goblin Journey update, which didn't land. Yeah, that was a flop, the Goblin Queen's Journey. Disappointment became negative and dampened sentiment for a while, but in early 2025, when sentiment had returned to a better state, a pretty unexpected spark helped start a blaze with the help of Michael Bolton, no less. The Bolton campaign around Valentine's Day and the Free Barbarian Evolution gift marked the start of Clash Royale's explosion. Evos had been around since June 2023, so Sasha said we think players like new content eventually, but perhaps not always in the moment. I do think this was a beneficial change long term, and I heard other Clash Royale devs specifically talk about this Michael Bolton collab as that was the spark of what made the game blow up, but this was around the same time or right before Jinxie came to the game, so I'm not very convinced that... I don't know. I don't know, they might be giving this specific event a little bit too much credit, especially because the Free Barbarian evolution was one of the weaker evolutions in the game. It actually did get a lot of hate, this event. There were a lot of people that liked it, the people that didn't have it, but I wouldn't give this too much credit, in all honesty. It also takes innovation and risk-taking. The team launched Merge Tactics, a new game mode born out of Supercell's Cancel Clash mini project, turning a failure into fuel for something new. Yeah, that is probably a good addition to the game. I would say them bringing Merge Tactics in for the people that do like playing it, even though it's only maybe a fraction of the player base. I think you might as well have it in the game because some people probably do play the game primarily just to play Merge Tactics. So I'd say it's a net positive to the game. What does Catching Fire look like? First, you see active players engaging more. As they do that, you see recently churned players return, then longer trail re-engagement. Finally, you see entirely new players show up. At first, it happens very slowly, but the virtuous cycle of word-of-mouth snowballs. None of our internal forecasts for either Brawl Stars or Royale predicted the ensuing rise in metrics right up until it actually happened. Forecasting in games is hard. The story doesn't end there. The Royale community is frustrated with some recent changes, and the team is listening and working to address it. The same dynamics that enable virtuous growth can enable a vicious cycle, as Sasha noted. At some point, once you begin to slide, it makes sense for word of mouth to turn negative. But wrapping up our conversation, Sasha wanted everyone to know the team won't ever compromise trying to deliver value for all kinds of players. We have players who love to gain trophies, increase levels, earn new card forms, play for free, or spend their money. They aren't one thing, and in the mind of the team, Royale is the best mobile native gameplay ever released. We love it. We are crazy about it. That is why we'll never break that promise. Here's what Clash Royale's years and Brawl Stars year before it proves it to me. There's enormous untapped potential in our live games. Games that have been around for years, even over a decade, can still become much better versions of themselves for players, unlocking explosive new growth. The ceiling is so much higher than we thought. That's incredibly exciting. Oh my god. Okay, well, I think it's crazy that they really think Michael Bolton did more for the game than Jinxie. I think this is the thing to me that's sad about it. If they genuinely believe that this Michael Bolton campaign with the free Barbarian evolution did more than Jinxie, then I don't know what to say, and they didn't even mention it in the article. Wow. I mean, I feel like it's a little bit of a bad look, especially if the Supercell CEO doesn't know the impact of what Jinxie has had on the game. So basically what people are saying is this statement is enough to understand why they kept heroes in level 16. They'll probably continue in the same way and will ensure they introduce more things in the next years. Sadly, who works in Clash Royale doesn't know how to balance these new concepts, and that's why it's flopping. Yeah, the problem is it's not like Clash of Clans. We really don't want new levels, and like it's only 1% of the players that want more levels and new card forms. I mean, I think this is just a little bit, it's just a straight up lie, in all honesty. I mean, I'd rather them just admit they want money than lie about it. Our players love to level up cards and spend money. If you got to believe that Clash Royale grew thanks to good work and not because of Jinxie, yeah, honestly, I'm pretty disappointed upon reading that. That's just, yeah. If you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to give it a like and subscribe. But yeah, that's just, wow. I'm just going to straight up say it. That's disappointing. They seem to be kind of out of touch of why the game blew up, but it is what it is.